yourself. Give me a ganja tune. It's 29 past the hour 7. I said 7:30. We're going to be rolling out. Meantime, don't forget to send your messages in 0544321019. Your Valentine messages, all right? 0544321019. You can also join in the conversation we're having this evening at zmultimedia.com and also on our socials, ZFMGH on X, on Facebook, and on IG. Okay, that's Instagram. Right.
Just say these things. The other day, for example, a young man in KNUST jumped off a second floor balcony outside of the KNUST compound. It didn't take long before one of the big media houses in Ghana declared that that guy was smoking, and that's why he fell off. The day later, KNUST came out and debunked it and said, look, you've not received any report from us saying that this guy died as a result of smoking marijuana. So it's been seriously stigmatized in our community, seriously stigmatized. But you see...
But let me ask a question. Is it the smoking of it that is stigmatized, or could you please a bit...
Well, it's the smoking. I mean, that's all we can see, isn't it? I mean, we can't see further than our nose, so all we can see is the smoking. And we call it Bonsam Tower, we call it Tampi, we call it different names,
right?
Especially the Indian hemp one, that causes the confusion. But what the law provides for...
The Indian hemp?
Yeah.
That's what causes the confusion?
Yeah.
Why so?
Well, because, you see, you don't smoke hemp. Do you understand? But because we went out, we were fighting the war with the Indians, and the Indians used to use it, and they gave it to us. When we brought it home, we said it was Indian hemp.
Oh, so that's how the name came about?
Yeah, that's how the name came about.
Oh, interesting.
You see? Yeah, very interesting. So basically that causes the confusion, because when you hear hemp, you automatically think marijuana. You know, just like in your intro for the show, you said we're going to be talking about ganja, marijuana. You know, further from the truth. It couldn't be further from the truth. We will talk about it because I think it's important that you have the clarity about the distinction between the two.
Okay.
I think it's very important.
Right.
It's important for you. It's important for those people who are listening. But what the law provides for is the cultivation of industrial hemp for industrial and medicinal purposes. In no way, shape or form does it mention marijuana for recreational purposes. That is still against the law. And if you are caught in possession with marijuana, it is still illegal. Still illegal.
Okay.
But basically, the law provides for understanding, if you like, or empathy, if you like. Because if you're carrying and it's just for you, there's no reason why you should be sent to prison or even sent to court.
Okay. You and I had this conversation about twice already. When I heard news, I pretty much am not really privy to what this whole thing is about, basically in terms of the details of the licensing and all that stuff. You are more into it in terms of on that level. I just wanted to ask you, when you heard the news of, what was your first thought?
Well, it's a bit late, 6 years, you know, because the law was passed in 2020, in March 2020. And the president at the time, Akufo-Addo, assented to it in May 2020, right? And since then, it's taken 4 years just to come up with a legislative instrument. Do you understand? And further than that, even though they've announced this week, oh yes, we're ready to issue the licenses, they're not, because they haven't told us what the fees and charges are. You see, and without the fees and charges, you can't issue a license because there must be a fee, there must be some charges. There are 11 different licenses. There are fees for all of them. There are charges for all of them. So until the minister comes out to tell us, okay, we're going to establish the cannabis industry, these are the fees and charges, you can't actually apply.
Can you educate us on the 11 kinds of licenses, at least a few of them for us?
Yeah, well, you've got the cultivation license, you've got import license, you've got the export license, you've got the storage license, you've got transportation license, you've got distribution license, you've got the breeder's license, you've got research and development license, you've got advertising license. You see, so there are many, many licenses. But basically what I'm saying to you, what the law provides for is the cultivation of industrial hemp with a THC content of 0.3%. Now, THC stands for tetrahydrocannabidiol.
Right.
Yeah, that is the compound within the marijuana that makes you high. Now, within the marijuana, that compound will start from 5% going. It will nowhere be near 0 point anything. It's from 5 upwards.
Okay.
So, for example, what we're cultivating here, I can safely say is about 25% THC. Do you understand?
That's much higher than the requirements then.
Yes. So that's still illegal. That's the point I'm making. So the announcement is nothing to do with that. We're talking about industrial hemp with a THC of 0.3%. So what I'm trying to say to you is no one's going to smoke it. There is no issue of abuse. You cannot abuse industrial hemp because it's industrial and it's medicinal, and you have to process it to even get it to be medicinal anyway. So the issue of abuse, it does not come into this at all. It doesn't come into this space at all, because what we're talking about is not marijuana, it's industrial hemp. And it's important everybody knows that, because I've seen in some interviews everybody's talking, oh, we know. It's not we.
Okay, so you can hear it for yourself that it is not, legal for you to go out there and start smoking weed on the streets. It's not legal. So it's for industrial purposes and medicinal purposes only.
Correct. That's what it's for.
I see. What are some of the benefits of industrial marijuana, if you would take us through a few of them?
Well,
you spoke about the cancers, you spoke about the medicinal aspect, though. I just wonder, what are some of the things it can be used for?
Okay. Well, I brought some of the items for you, and I'll show you some, what it can be used for. This bag, for example, is made out of industrial hemp.
This bag?
Yeah.
Really?
Of course. Strictly out of industrial hemp. And let me show you what hemp actually looks like anyway.
No way.
Of course. And it's waterproof.
This bag was made out of hemp.
Industrial hemp. This is hemp.
All right.
That's
all right. For those of you, you can always check out our YouTube channel. You can watch us live.
That's hemp.
Wow. Okay.
This is a small jute sack.
Made out of hemp.
Made out of hemp.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what we're talking about is jobs, the generation of jobs, not only in cultivation, but also in the processing and manufacturing of this plant, which is hemp. So let me show you this. This is charcoal. This is hemp charcoal.
Charcoal?
Charcoal. Hemp charcoal.
Wait a minute. Was this processed here in Ghana?
No, it wasn't processed in Ghana.
Wow.
That's hemp charcoal. So straight away, there's an issue about deforestation. Because if you can grow industrial hemp and produce charcoal, it will deter people from cutting down trees. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Right. So this is hemp wood.
Wood?
Yes.
Made out of hemp?
Yes, made out of hemp.
But my question is, at what quantity do you have to produce to be able to have this kind of products come out of it?
Well, you're talking, every acre can produce a ton of industrial hemp. Every acre can produce 1 ton, dry weight, industrial hemp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So, as I'm saying, we're talking about jobs from cultivation to processing to manufacturing, because this studio is built out of concrete.
Right.
But there is a product called hempcrete.
Hempcrete.
Yes, where this is mixed with lime, and it produces a block like the blocks that we have, and it's stronger than the blocks that we have. And the benefit of it is that it absorbs carbon dioxide. You know, we're talking about climate change and, you know, global warming and all these kind of things. Just imagine if this studio was built out of industrial hemp. When the cars go by and the exhaust fumes, etc., this building would absorb it. It would capture it out of the air. Do you understand the benefits
Yes, I do.
of that?
I really do, yes.
Yeah. So that's hemp wood, that's charcoal, that's honey, CBD infused honey. I was going to bring the milk, but the hassle to get back to the office with it all, because there's hemp milk, that's shea butter, and we produce a lot of shea butter. That's infused with
Hemp.
CBD. Yeah. the
Okay.
hemp. You know, this will probably fit you. But you feel the quality of this. I'm not going to give it to you, but you feel the quality of that. This is proper quality.
Made out of hemp.
It's made out of hemp. It's made out of hemp.
No way.
100%.
This is made out of hemp?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
100%.
100%.
Tell me, how is the process like?
Well, for this, for example, when you cultivate the hemp and it's dried, you would produce what is known as a bast fiber. Now, I don't know if you've been into a textile factory before.
No,
but
not the factory.
The way
no.
how they make the cotton is you've got different little lines of cotton running on a machine, and then somehow that machine brings them all together to make the cotton. So you have your bast fiber in the same way. You string it up to the machine, and you can blend it with cotton, nylon, silk, or any other synthetic textile to make whatever product you want to make. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just as simple as that. Wow, it's just as simple as that. But it's capital intensive.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's capital intensive because these things are not cheap. Now, let me say this to you: all I use is hemp products. I brush my teeth with hemp toothpaste. I wash my hair with hemp shampoo. I cream myself with hemp cream and hemp oil. I've got hemp deodorant. Here you go. This hemp shampoo and hemp conditioner.
Wow.
Just like that. Let me light that.
Okay.
Just like that. And actually, look, don't be going, wow. Use some of the cream. Use some of the cream. Don't be afraid. Yeah, use some of the cream.
Smells really good.
Of course, and why not?
All right, people, we're in Z101.9. It's Reggae Café. Today the topic is about hemp. Wow.
Let me give you another one. Just found it here. That's hemp water.
Hemp water.
Yep. That's hemp water.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, very
So
interesting.
so the benefits are, you said about
Enormous.
50,000.
No, but look. This is a business, that is a business, this is a business, that is a business, that is a business. How many businesses are on that table?
Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6.
And you look and you
Seven.
feel this for yourself. It's proper, it's correct. It's waterproof as well. Right, so that's about 7 or 8 businesses just there. Just there. If we get ourselves together, if we manage this industry well, if there's cannabis sovereignty.
Let me ask you, what is hemp? Have you, do you, I mean,
Well, it's a plant.
It's
a plant.
It's a plant, yes. But I'm saying that compared to what's out there that everyone is, you said 25 THC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The one that is 3. Is it a particular? What would I say?
Well, let me come in.
Yeah.
It's all comes under the heading of cannabis.
Right. Cannabis sativa.
Do you understand? Yes, cannabis sativa L is industrial hemp. Cannabis indica is marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah?
So it's cannabis sativa L, which
industrial
is
hemp.
industrial hemp,
And cannabis
indica is
that's the marijuana. It can be indica, ruderalis, sensimilia.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That side is the marijuana. Do you understand? And the difference with them, because they're easily identifiable, because industrial hemp grows to about 16 feet. And the buds it produces has seeds in there. And that's where you can, through extraction, get the oil, the CBD oil. So I'm sure you must have heard of CBD.
Yes, I've heard about CBD oil.
Yeah, so you extract it from those seeds. Now, on the other hand, the marijuana plant, 6 feet, 7 feet, it's much broader, and it has lots of different buds. And it's those buds that, when they are picked and dried, can be smoked, eaten, baked, whatever you want to do with it. And that has the high THC, that bud.
That's the illegal one.
Yeah, that's the illegal one. That's the one we're currently growing now, which every other day you hear there's been a seizure. Yeah, so that's the difference. Look, industrial hemp has built a 12-floor hotel in South Africa. People are using it. It's proper. It's proper. But we tend to focus on stigmas. That's what we tend to focus on, and we just think negative about it, but that's not the case.
So, in your opinion, when do you think the prices of the license will come out?
Well, I don't know. We're waiting for the minister. We're waiting for the minister. But what they'd proposed so far, or what was proposed 2 years ago, was extortionate. Because they were saying, like, it was being proposed that we would pay something like from $9,000 per acre to $45,000 per hectare. Now, everyone knows what an acre is, but a hectare is 2.4 acres. So every 2.4 acres, what was being proposed was that we should pay $45,000 for every hectare. Now, before you start, your business is crashed. Because, say for us, for example, we have 15,000 hectares. So if we were to license 15,000 hectares under what was being proposed, and bear in mind, we don't know if it's still on the table or not, because the minister hasn't come out to say.
And that's just for the cultivation.
You're looking at $600 million US. It's just not possible. It's not possible. So basically, whilst on the one hand, the authorities say that this is for the people, this is for Ghanaians, on the other hand, the fees that are being proposed are exclusionary. And so indigenous Ghanaians won't be able to participate. That's our concern. But as I said, the minister is yet to announce. But I know that 2 years ago, and even last year, that was what was on the table. And I attended subsidiary and legislative committee, something like that, where all the state-owned enterprises, they go and submit the fees for the new year. Right? DVLA was there, Forestry Commission is there, everybody goes there. So they go through a process. So we were there because we know NARCOC was coming to submit the fees. And those were the fees they submitted. And we asked through the chair for NARCOC to be queried as to what would 1 acre yield. Since you have said 9,000 for an acre, what will it yield?
That was going to be my next question.
You see?
Yes.
And they couldn't answer. And eventually, they were literally ushered out of the room.
So Anyway, so based on your experience and looking at the high price in terms of cultivation, what does an acre yield? I mean, like approximately.
Well, an acre isn't business. But I said to you earlier, an acre will give you a ton.
A ton.
Yeah, dry weight, 1,000.
Yes, I did hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of value.
In terms of value, that's probably $20,000. Because you see, back in 2020, when the law was passed, the global prices were much higher.
Okay.
Do you understand? But having dilly-dallied for 6 years, so many different countries have jumped in on the bandwagon, and it's led to a decline in the price. Because back then, off-takers were prepared to pay $20 per kilo for industrial hemp. So just imagine you've got 1,000 kilos on 1 acre, and you're paying $20 for a kilo. And the smallest cultivation we're talking about is 25 acres. You're looking at over 500,000.
So should things go in a reasonable way, where it should be much more reasonable to go into the cultivation aspect of it, and being that you have so much experience in pretty much, I don't know the areas, but I know that most of the areas you are well versed in there. I mean, you are Hempire. Would you be willing in the future to help other people to get into that kind of business?
Yeah, of course. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We want to empower people. Because look, you've got to understand that the vast majority of rural folk have been victimized over this herb, because many of them grow it, and there's a need for them to grow it, not because they want to break the law, but there's no other livelihood available. And I'm not trying to rationalize it or justify it. This is a fact. We've been growing marijuana in Ghana for over 100 years. I've met a grandfather who grew it, and I've met his father, his son, and then the son's son as well. 3 generations. They're all into it. They're all doing it. Grandfather's not so mobile now, but he kicked off the business. So we've been doing it for a very long time, you see, and it's an informal economy that blends into, it's an informal economy that blends into the formal economy. Because when that money is generated, it goes back into the system. They buy food, they pay for school fees, they purchase petrol. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So that money goes back into the system, into the formal economy.
Okay, let me ask this. You did talk about the difference between the two, right? The marijuana, the ganja, and the,
industrial hemp.
Yeah, okay. My question is, with the indica, is there any process that it can go through that can reduce the THC?
No.
No process at all?
No. You see, the only way that you wouldn't have THC in there is if you had a seed that within that seed there's limited THC and more CBD, as in the case with industrial hemp, because that's where it starts from, the seed. The seed determines what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So the acquisition of the seed is actually also totally different?
Yes, totally different, because the seeds are certified. So let's say I wanted to import seeds in the country, industrial hemp seeds. Those seeds come with a certificate, right, that says that these seeds are industrial hemp seeds with a THC content of 0.3%. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it can't come in the country without that certificate. And so the Narcotics Control Commission would sample it. They would take a sample of those seeds from your batch. Do you understand? And they would probably keep it, because there's so much of this going on. You've got to sample this, that. Now, when we cultivate it, because they would give you the go-ahead and say, yes, okay, according to what has been said, that's 0.3, so cultivate. While you're cultivating, they could come on your farm and test what you're growing to see if it's 0.3, because once it's over 0.3, they will order you to destroy it. They will order you to destroy it. But you know, the paradox of it all is, look, is they have been very specific in saying that it must be 0.3. And the reason why they say it must be 0.3 is because they themselves know that you can't smoke it. They know it's not smokable. And furthermore, they know it's a non-narcotic. Right? And that means when it's non-narcotic, it means it is non-psychotic. Yes?
Yeah.
So really and truly, they've created that. But we say to them, tomatoes, non-narcotic. Spinach is non-narcotic.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I do.
So if they're non-narcotic and they're non-psychotic, you don't have to have licenses for them.
No, you don't.
Well, why do you have to have license for this?
Interesting question.
Yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And it's a fact. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. And they will tell you, but the rest of the world has. But that doesn't make it right. Because it's non-narcotic, it's non-psychotic. So you don't need to have a license for it. It's a vegetable. Yeah, it's a vegetable. Because you're not going to smoke it or anything.
You can't even smoke
Yeah,
it.
you can't. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I do.
So, but, you know, these things, some of the things are not worth debating. We need to get on with the program. We need to see what the fees and charges are going to be. And if it's not what we want it to be, then we must push for a change. Because there are lots of rural folk out there. They're unemployed. Look at what's happening now. They're turning towards Galamsey, which we don't want them to be involved in. This is a way out. This is a way out. And as I mentioned Galamsey, let me also say this, that in terms of, because it's not a secret now that our food is being poisoned by toxins. Yeah? And lead and mercury and arsenic and all those kind of things. Now, we've been to the Ministry of Lands, Natural Resources, and we've said to them, look, where you've recovered land that has been poisoned, allow us to cultivate industrial hemp there. Because industrial hemp, through a process called phytoremediation, will recover the land. It will reclaim the land after a period of time.
Oh, really?
So, yes, so that farmers can go back there and plant crops again. And there'll be no poison there. It's the same for the water bodies. We're crying about our water bodies have been poisoned with the same arsenic and all those kind of things. You can cultivate industrial hemp there and clean up the water bodies. And we gave them the example. When you and I were younger, some 35 years ago in Chernobyl, in the Ukraine, there was a radioactive spill. Killed everything flying, everything that moved was dead. And what they did to recover the situation was they cultivated industrial hemp around that radioactive space and cleaned up the whole place. And I mean, you can go online and look that up. Just type Chernobyl and you will see that what they did to clear up the radiation was the use of industrial hemp. That's what they used. You see? So it's very powerful. It's very powerful. And another income stream you can generate from it is that because it absorbs carbon dioxide, the people from the West who are polluting the world, they have this climate change discussion and blah, blah, and different targets are set for them to meet, but they never meet it because they continue burning fossil fuel. They turn to us over here, and then they give grants for us to grow crops that also absorb carbon dioxide. Yeah. Now, cannabis, industrial hemp, is the biggest out of all of them. And so they will come here to buy our carbon credits, which they will put against what they're actually
The pollution.
consuming
Mm.
to bring what they are consuming down, even though they haven't done anything to reduce their consumption.
Mm.
Carbon credit against what they're consuming is like you're taking away. Do you understand?
Yes.
So they will come over here and buy our carbon credit.
Mm.
Do you understand? They're buying carbon credit all over the world, so that by the time they go to the next climate change, they can show, oh, something is being done about our consumption of fossil fuels, but it's not really. They've come to Africa to buy carbon credit. That's revenue generation. That's internal revenue generation. You see, because while we're growing it, we're cleaning our air. We're cleaning it. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we're cleaning our air, and they're coming to buy what they've created as a credit, because we should get the credit for cleaning our air. But okay, we're not getting the credit. We're getting the finances, which is what we need to help us to build larger factories that can process, manufacture, etc., etc. The hempcrete, the wood, the charcoal, the textile, the cosmetics, because we don't have the money to do all of that. So initially we have to export in order to generate the foreign exchange.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's the same with the carbon credit. That gives us a foreign exchange as well. And then we can turn our interest into establishing processing plants and manufacturing
to produce
plants
these products.
Yeah, to produce different products.
Well, then I thank you so much for coming through this evening. We would like to have more information on how to reach you, and more information on what's happening around the Hempire.
Well, you can go to our website, www.hempireagreek.com.
Hempireagreek.com.
And everything is there. You'll be able to. I can't tell you the office number offhand, but you'll be able to contact the office, and someone will speak to you. You can come for a free counselling session, and we'll let you know where everything is at. But trust me, this is a game changer. This is a game changer. Trust me, if we manage this well, it's a game changer. Look, 3 years ago, we borrowed $3 billion US, right? And 3 million, and 3 years hence, we had passed the law. Now, even if we had started 1 year after we had passed the law, we wouldn't have borrowed $3 billion US, because we would have generated that already. Because remember what I'm saying to you, the price was quite high at that time.
Right before you go, if you plant, you cultivate, how long does it take for the first harvest?
4 months maximum.
Wow.
So you're looking at a minimum of 2 harvest cycles
A year.
a year, and a maximum of 3. Right? If you get everything clockwork, you can do 3 harvests a year.
I see. So you can always start with 1, then 2, then 3.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you coming through.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know it says Valentine's Day, right? Is it? Okay. Well, I mean, send a message of love out there to my listeners before you go.
Well, Valentine isn't really my thing, but I'm a lover, man. No, but I believe in that, but I'm a married man. I just wish everybody well, very difficult times, trying times, but we've got to believe in ourselves. There must be self-belief, and whatever it is we're aiming to try and achieve, we must be disciplined in that endeavor.
Thanks once again for taking time off to come on my show, and I look forward to more information. But then, when things actually start bubbling, we would speak with you again.
I'm sure you will.
And you never know, something else might happen behind the scenes. So
yeah, well,
we'll talk about it.
Let's see what's going to happen. I mean, we're waiting for the minister to make his announcement, and whatever it is, we'll take it from there. It's a win-win situation. We cannot be denied. We can only be delayed, and this is the people's business. The people who are discriminated against, victimized, bastardized, and all this kind of stuff by the police, stop and search and all this, you know, it's their business. It's their business, because they have been brave enough to come out and do whatever they're doing, while those who are fighting against it, when they go home from work, they go around the back and they have their own puff or two, you know. And yeah, but it's true. It's true. They have their own puff or two and come out crying it down as if, you know, they're Moses.
That was the highlight of the evening. Thank you.
It's your lifestyle lurcher and business radio.
That was Nana Agyemang, the CEO of Hempire Ghana Limited. So great insight there on the difference between cannabis, indica, and the industrial hemp. All right, now. It's 8:08 here now from 9 to 9 o'clock. My DJ, run the track. You know, it's a lover's night, man. If you have any message, send it now to 0544321019. Or you can simply send a message to our social ZFM GH on Instagram, Facebook, and X. All right? Enjoy some great music here. This is Z101.9 FM, and it's Reggae Café. Running my selector.
101.9 FM.